Well, hello everybody, I'm Uncle Hans, and you know that this is 2021, and you know what that means. That means that the Communist Party of China is 100 years old. I'm only 71, so I guess I can call them Da Ge. I first came to Taiwan in 1972. That's like 50 years ago almost. Back then, I could not call my parents because it cost equivalent of 1,000 renminbi a minute. I wrote letters to my parents, and it took like 2 months to get a letter back and forth. So times have changed a lot in 50 years. When I first went to Taiwan, there maybe only 1 in 50 people had a telephone, so we basically didn't have a telephone. Times have changed, and the first 30 years, mostly I was involved with Taiwan. In the last 25 years, the first time I came to mainland China was 1994. Things were pretty rugged in 1994. People had a lot of bad habits, like throwing garbage all over the place, but things have changed a great deal, and China has, in the past 25 years, has come about 100 years into the future. So now, the first time I came to Nanjing 20 years ago, I hopped a train here, and then hopped off the train when I got here. But now, they've probably built 10,000 or maybe 20,000 high-rises in Nanjing. Nanjing is a totally different place than it was even 25 years ago. China is making huge advancements into the future, much faster than the United States. So now it's 2021, and I live in China, and I have permanent residence and all kinds of friends in China, and things have changed a great deal. I hope that I can still be here in 30 years when I'm 100 years old, and all of you can wish me a happy 100th anniversary. But as for now, I'll just keep going one day at a time, and hopefully the world will improve and be a much better place in the future. In the past few years, China has developed very quickly. Chinese word for developing is fa. So let's go to the board and I'll show you where it comes from. Let's look at this word here. We have 2 feet going forward, and we have a bow and arrow, and we have a hand shooting the arrow. So this basically means the hand is shooting the arrow, and the 2 feet here mean the arrow is going out. So this is the logic of fa shi, which means to shoot, and it also is the logic of fa cai, which means riches will come to you. It's also the logic of fa jian, which means to develop or develop quickly. You see the original characters here, the oracle bone characters, would look like this. You see 2 feet in blue, and you see a bow, and you see a hand, and this here would represent the arrow. In the seal characters, the feet pointing forward get a little bit more distorted, the bow gets more distorted, and the hand with the arrow, it begins to look like a whip. In the modern traditional character, you see the feet going forward. Notice that it looks like a hand here, but it's a little different. And this also kind of looks like a foot, but it's a little different. Notice how these are different. And this is a gong, which means a bow. And this is a shu. It's on the side of many, many characters. It indicates that it's a verb. When we write cursive Chinese, xing shu, or super cursive Chinese, tao shu, the lines run together. And sometimes we just drop things out. If we write something a little bit cursive, we just drop this top part out. These feet, they run together. So you get 1 dot here, a line, and then 1 extra dot here. If you study it, you can see how it goes from this to this. And so in the modern character, the dot, line, dot, those are the feet. And this bow, it just gets changed into 1 line coming down. And the right hand that's shooting the bow, you can still see that here, that's a right hand. So every part of every Chinese character is derived from a pictograph. And so remembering it's the 100th anniversary of the Chinese Communist Party, a happy birthday, and hopefully in the next 100 years, China will continue to develop at a very rapid rate, and I hope to be here to see what happens. I'm Uncle Hans. See you next time.